Right, welcome to our practice. The 9:30 everybody practice, lots of options and modifications to be added in. If you want to add in more strength to your class, you know some of the mods, you can add those in. Want to hold your pose a little bit longer, feel free. We're starting in an easy seat with a focus today on our mid back. So not right in our lumbar spine, not in our neck or between our shoulders, kind of that space in between. We'll find ourselves in our easy seat or legs out long. We can place our palms up or down. Take a moment just to breathe. To let all of the air out of your lungs. And then breathe in again. Fill it all up. You can inhale through your nose, exhale through your mouth or your nose. Anchoring our sit bones, so checking in with our pelvis and making sure it's not tucked forward or tucked under quite a bit, nice and strong. The spine lengthening up out of our pelvis as we relax our shoulders, relax our hips, closing our eyes and softening our jaw. Let's exhale and put our hands into fists. Inhale, opening and stretching our hands. Exhaling our fists. Inhaling, opening and stretching. Just wake up your hands, ready for the day. A few more of those. Last one. I invite you to grab, gently grab onto your rib cage. You can have your fingertips facing the front or fingertips facing the back. So right down at the base of our ribs, kind of on our mid back. Let's take a few big breaths, filling up the base of our lungs, breathing in. See if you can find that breath filling up more towards the back of your body, down into the base of your lungs. Feel your rib cage expanding and then coming back in. A few more. As we hold on to this part of our body, acknowledging and being kind to it throughout our practice today, honoring the mid part of our back. Let's start our warm up. Inhale, sweeping our arms up to the sky. Exhale, we'll tip over to one side. Inhale, back up. Exhale, we'll tip over to the other side. Inhaling back up. We'll take a twist over one side. Then we reach back up. Twist over to the other side. Exhale. Our hands will come then back behind us. Breathe in, opening up across our chests. And exhale, a gentle dive forward with our arms coming in front. And we'll inhale, come back up. Exhale, bring our hands to our thighs. Let's do that again a few more times. Inhale, sweep up. Exhale, tipping over. You can go down as far as you want. Back up, breathe in. Exhale, tip over to the other side. Breathe in, sweeping back up. Nice gentle twist above the belly button. Back up. And over to the other side. All the way back up. Let's bring our hands back behind us. Exhale. Inhale, open up the heart. And exhale, a gentle bow down towards the earth. Got one more flow. Inhale, sweeping up to the sun. Exhale, tipping over to one side. Back up, breathing in, over to the other side. Then we add our twist on an exhale. So glad we have these Zoom options. Let's bring our hands back behind us, open up, and tipping all the way forward. Last one. We'll do a nice big stretch over to one side now, taking our left hand down to the mat. You can put a block underneath it, or bring your forearm right down and sweep up. First thing that doesn't feel great, so you can just see how that feels for you. Look up underneath our elbow and focus on that stretch right now between your lower rib and your hip. Back up over to the other side, really good posture stretches. Lots of the poses that we do today are good for your posture and stability and mobility in your back. Right on, let's make our way to cat and cow on all fours, unless you want to do it seated. So we'll make our way to cat and cow. Adjust the clothes if you want to. Right on. All right, let's go. Exhaling into cat. Inhaling into cow. Making any adjustments we need to in our mindset or in our physical body to let go of competition, any judgment or expectation, and moving with our breath. 1 or 2 more of these. We'll come to a tabletop position. Nice flat back as we draw our belly button up towards the spine. So we draw it up and take it back to child's pose. We'll flow between the two, inhaling all fours, exhaling back to child's pose. If you'd like a little more, the options for this would be downward facing dog to a plank pose. And we will turn this flow from child's pose to all fours to now child's pose into kneeling plank, exhaling into child's pose, inhaling into kneeling plank. Feel the core catching you. You don't want to place all of the weight in our wrists. 1 more. And now we'll add those little tricep dips. So we come forward, inhale, exhale, give it just a little dip, back up, and to child's pose. Let's flow again. Forward, you can hold 1 little dip, and back. More, all on your own. The inner arms, your elbows pointing back towards your heels. Inner arms raising your rib cage, your chest as you go down. Last one, all the way down to our bellies. We come forward, right down to our bellies. Then we'll open up into our Cobra, right back down to our bellies. A few more of our Cobra flows. Inhale, coming up, exhaling back down. So one way to take the weight out of your wrists, of course, is to move into cup hands here. And just check in with the back. See if both sides of the back are lifting you up. As we slide our shoulder blades down towards the spine. And notice. We don't have a ton of tension in our backside. Let the back do some of that work. Last one. Make our way right back to child's pose. Take a breath here or move into downward facing dog. That feels a little bit better for you this one. If you're in child's pose, let's massage your forehead down. 4 more breaths. And then we'll be moving back up to all fours. Coming up to all fours now. Thread the needle pose. We inhale, sweep our right arm up. Exhale, sweep it underneath. Press into that left hand. We come up, open, and then through. We'll do this 5, 6 times on this side. Warming up. You could have your hand behind your head, sweeping it through. That feels better. Or that big reach up. On this next one, we'll be holding it down. So that right shoulder blade coming right down, or the shoulder onto the mat. We've got our weight shifted forward, so some of it is coming down on our shoulder. So that means if you're taking care of this shoulder on the bottom, shift the weight back a little bit so not all of it is on your shoulder. And we can take our other hand back behind us onto our low or mid back. We're just resting. We'll bring that left hand in front of our face again, press into the earth, come back up to all fours. We'll do our flowing puppy, thread the needle on the other side. Sweep up, left hand, and then it sweeps through and the opposite arm bends. Press, flow side to side. So we've got about 5 or 6 of those. Just gonna make sure there's no one that ended up in the waiting room. Awesome. Then you'll be holding that thread the needle through. That left shoulder coming down onto the mat. And that weight shifting slightly forward and stretching. Pressing our right hand into the mat, we'll come back up to all fours and make our way to either downward facing dog or child's pose. Maybe it's down dog with a pedal. I love pedaling my feet out. You can also call that walking the dog. Still pressing into both of our hands. Look forward. We're moving into a kneeling lunge, bringing our left foot up between the hands and dropping our back knee down. So left hand to left knee, and we rise up with our other hand, stretching our mid back here. Hopefully you should feel a little stretch right there. Oh, that feels wonderful. It's a hard part of the body to stretch, but we are going to do our best today and strengthen. Love it. All right, so that left hand can still stay on your knee. Now your right hand will come down to the mat, and we can move into a little twist. Chest towards the inside of the left knee or left thigh. We'll come back. Opposite of that, now your left hand can either stay on your knee and you can open up your twist, or you can bring that left hand down to an open twist. And what we do on one side is always a good idea to do on the other, especially in our yoga practice. Let's switch sides. Bring the opposite knee up. We come into a kneeling lunge. So not so much, a lot of the times in our lunge, we do shift forward to stretch our hip flexor, but for today's practice, trying to get our knee right underneath our hip, other arm goes up. Feel the stretch right here. Great. Actively reaching with the fingertips as the knee anchors down into the mat. And then we'll add a little twist on. Left hand down to the mat, right hand to knee, and then we turn the chest towards the knee and or reach that other arm up. A modification, if that doesn't feel good for you, is just to bring your left hand to the outside of your knee, right hand to low back. Got our twist here. Now left hand will bring us back, and we'll open up our twist the other way, either hands down on the mat or maybe forearm down. Fantastic. Making our way to child's pose or downward facing dog. We're going to flow now from child's pose into a kneeling plank or downward dog directly into upward facing dog. So if we're staying with me in down dog, as we move into upward facing dog, we flip the feet and open up. And flip the feet back, go back. You can move through a few more times. So our modification will be child's pose. Maybe right into a Cobra pose with the knees down. Continue to flow on your own. If you're always flipping the same foot first, try to flip the other foot. Massage for the tops of our feet. Keeping our chest shining forward. Last one. We'll be meeting in downward facing dog or all fours. Taking our right hand over across towards our left shin, our left calf, and looking up underneath our elbow. Modification, all fours, reaching for the knee. You can look under or even back down your back. Switch sides. Downward dog, we'll reach for the other side, looking under the elbow or the armpit, or you're in all fours. We're reaching across for that knee. Great work, everybody. We'll make our way back to our regular downward dog, all fours or child's pose. And walk, step, or jump our feet up between our hands to flow through forward fold. Halfway lift, fold, exhale. 5 of these. Flow on your own. Noticing your mid-back. Those muscles contracting as you come up and relaxing as you let the head hang back down. Hands to shins or keep them on the floor or bring them behind your knees. Last one. We'll move into our flowing chair, inhaling chair, Exhaling, forward fold. And on that next one, let's hold our chair pose. Inhale and exhale, hold. Inhale, sweep all the way up. Exhale into chair. So now we're going chair to mountain pose. Rise up, extended mountain. Sit back in the chair. Let's warm up our knees. Warm up our glutes. Shift the hip back. Hips. Great work. Last one. Meeting in extended mountain, bringing our hands back behind our head. Tipping over to one side. Feel that stretch in the mid-back as we press into both of our feet. Feels amazing. You can support your head with your hands. All the way over to the other side. Wonderful. A couple more breaths here, then we'll move to our moonflowers and sunflowers. Love it. So stepping one foot back and then the other, so that we make our way into a nice long stance, toes slightly out on an angle. Rise up, inhale, exhale, shift back. So let's move through our moonflowers. Going down as far as you want to, your knees can go and connect with your thighs, or you can keep them up, focusing on drawing the elbows down towards the back pockets. And when it feels nice for you, then we can move this into our sunflowers. Hinge it down, but still bend the knees. Then press up and reach, making a big circle. Feeling connected to our breath at the moment. Staying present in this amazing moment. Our wonderful virtual community that we're building. Last one. We'll make our way into a bent knee, so a wide goddess pose. Pressing our hands into our thighs and then dropping the shoulder down towards one side. But that hand is pressing into the knee pressing back into the hand. Other side, so press, drop the shoulder. We'll bring it back. Tick-tock our feet back together, make our way back up to face the front of our mats. Halfway lift, breathe in. Fold, breathe out. Sweep all the way up on a big inhale. And it is time for our sun salutations. So if you need to adjust anything or grab a drink of water before we get started, make yourself comfortable. If you want to crank up your tunes and get flowing, if you want my playlist, send me a message later. I'll send it to you. All right, let's make our way up to the tops of our mats. Nothing crazy about our sun salutations today. We'll do 2 with the knee down if you want to, 2 with the knee up. And then at the end, you can choose to do one of those 2 versions, or we'll add the jump back with me. Maybe I'll jump back, maybe I'll step back. Big breath up, inhaling. Exhale, dive into your forward fold, stretch the back of your legs. And we come back halfway, inhale. Exhale, fold. Bending our knees, left foot back, knee up or down. Inhale to your lunge. Choose where you'd like your arms today. Exhaling to child's pose or downward facing dog. Resting here or flowing. Forward plank. Halfway or all the way. Our up dog, maybe a gentle cobra with me. Either back to your bellies or meeting downward facing dog. Or child's pose. We're looking up between the hands and bringing the right foot up between the hands. Rising to your lunge. Forward folding, pressing off the back foot, exhaling, space between our feet. Halfway lift, back is strong, folding again. Sweeping all the way up. Exhale to your chair pose. Back up, breathe in. Exhale to mountain. And let's do it again. Inhale, sweep. Exhale, dive. Halfway lift, roll those shoulders away from our ears. Folding again. Bending our knees, this time the right foot going back. Full knee up or down, inhale. Downward facing dog or child's pose. Go at your own pace. Go a little faster than me if you want to, or stay with me. Forward, down, Cobra or up dog. Making our way to child's pose or downward dog. Left foot lunging up between the hands. Make sure it's safely far enough away so your knee doesn't go in front of the lunge. Forward fold. Halfway lift, breathe in. Fold, breathe out. Sweep up to the sky. Exhale to a chair. Leaving in mountain. All right, let's add on. Inhale, sweep. Exhale, dive. Halfway lift. Strong belly comes up to the spine. We fold again. Left foot lunging back. Full lunge or back to the kneeling one. Take a big breath in and then make your way to downward facing dog. Breathe out. Hold or flow. Forward, down, up. Back to down dog or child's pose. Right foot between the hands. Take your time, guys. There's no rush. Rise up. Exhale, fold. Halfway lift. Fold again. All the way up, inhale. Exhale to chair. One more back up. Exhale to mountain. So you can do one of those two versions now for your next one, or you can do sun salutations B with me. We'll do it 2 times. Inhale, sweep. Exhale, dive. Halfway lift, and then we hop, step, or jump to plank. Or right into chaturanga. Up dog or cobra. Downward dog. Hold or bring the right foot up between the hands. One lunge, and we go right back to chaturanga or plank. Breathe out. Up dog or cobra. Downward dog. Left foot for the lunge this time. One lunge, one breath, and then back to chaturanga or plank. And hold or flow, up dog, and then down dog. Hop, step, or jump up between the feet. I'm just gonna walk it on up this time. Halfway lift, breathe in. Fold, breathe out. All the way up. Exhale to mountain. Great job, everybody. So that last version of sun salutations is sun salutation B. And that's what we do if you come to the lunchtime class. We do that one. The lunch is very quick, but it gets your heart rate up quickly. All right, let's get into getting our strong backs ready to go. We'll meet in downward dog. Big breath up first. Exhale, dive, fold. Let's step back to downward dog and just check in with our dogs today. We've got a soft bend in our knees as our hips or our tail is reaching up towards the sky. We're feeling a stretch down the backs of our legs, feeling our back get strong. Breathe. Drawing our belly button towards the spine, keeping everything strong. Gazing up between the hands, the left foot will be coming up between the hands for a runner's lunge. Our back heel is still high. Breathe. Blocks could be put underneath your hands here if that feels a little bit better. So in our runner's lunge, it's like you want to actually run, take off from that finish line. I mean, starting line, we're not at the finish line yet. About 35 minutes. All right, our right foot will be going down onto the mat, our left hand back behind our left foot, and we're opening up into a lunge. So here's where a block can be handy, or bring your elbow up onto your knee. Let me grab a block. Our extended side angle. Great job. We'll be moving from here right up into reverse angle. So engage the core muscles, lift yourself up. Left hand goes up. And we're reaching up into our reverse warrior pose. Breathe. And for today, to stretch our mid back and our wrist, we'll be grabbing our left hand, our left wrist with our right hand, and then adding a little pull as we stretch our wrist and also the mid part of our back. Strong still through our core. Breathe. Right back down into our side angle, hands down or on a block, but this time reaching up. Our front knee is bent. So into our first peak pose, there's two besides dancer. Bird of paradise, your right hand up top will turn and go so that the back of that hand is on your back. Your other hand is going to reach through. So thumb, reach. We're trying to grab our hands at the back, or you've dropped a strap down the back. This feels really hard today. Okay, with or without your strap. Get there, okay. Now you can hold onto this one or bring your back foot up beside your front foot and then lift your front foot. So I did grab a strap, so I don't think I'm gonna get up very high. We end up about there. Whew. Or just come here for your bird of paradise. Bending and straightening your leg if you want to. Holy, we have not done that one near enough. All right, so if you've got your strap, now we'll do our dancer's pose. We'll do that same sequence on the other side. So I'd love for our left hand to come first, either into your hand or your strap. Last week we showed it with the strap around your ankle and then the option to reach back along your strap. Today, without the strap if you want to, and just the hinge forward into our dancer's pose. As the heel reaches for the sky, our hand reaching up, our hips still facing forward or down towards the mat. Okay, forward fold, exhale. Oh, that's a doozy. All right, halfway lift, breathe in. Fold, breathe out. All right, everybody, hop, step, or jump back to your plank. And we're slowly lowering down into Sphinx pose. So we go down and draw the elbows forward. Open up into Sphinx. Take a little breath. Unclench your cheeks. And think of the back. Think of the chest. Just reconnect. We'll be doing that same pretty challenging sequence on the other side. So grab one. All right. We'll slide those hands back under, tuck our toes, and push either up into a full plank or a kneeling plank. Downward facing dog. And this time the right foot is going to be coming up between the hands into our runner's lunge first. So there we are, runner's lunge. It's like we want to just go, just win this race, even though there's no competition in yoga. All righty, we'll turn that left heel down onto the mat. Keep your right hand on the outside of the knee or the foot, or put a block there. And we're opening up long. So if this doesn't feel nice for you, bring the elbow up onto the knee and do our side angle here. Almost there to a reverse warrior. Engage the core muscles, press into the feet, rise up, right hand up. Left hand back, breathe. This is where we're adding on our little modification today. Our left hand grabbing onto our right wrist. We find some space there and a little tip back. Only if it feels okay for you. Another modification could be to hold your head with your right hand. All right, back to our side angle with our left hand up this time instead of long. And here's where we have a fun, you could have a strap in your top hand. Don't know why I chose not to use a strap today. Bonkers. All right, so we want to turn so that the back of this left hand is on our back. And the other hand will reach through. Try to grab the fingers, or you're just holding onto your strap. You can stay here, or walk your back foot up by your front foot, and then work towards transferring the weight. A block would be good actually for that foot. Work towards transferring your weight or just lifting up. So see what I did there? Just let go and lift it instead of trying to keep that bind. You can give maybe 1 or 2 of these little flexes. And then we forward fold, exhale. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, fold again and sweep all the way back up. Oh, wonderful. Dancer's pose on the other side. Make sure your adjustments should be most likely your right foot. Grab your wall if you'd like to. Bring it in or grab it with the strap. Make sure we try not to let that knee go out. It's underneath our hip and our shoulder in a nice line. And then we start our hinge. Our other hand could be reaching up, or you could work towards reaching for the back foot with both of our. That's the first time I've ever reached back and actually grabbed my foot. All those dancers last week must have helped. Forward fold, everybody. Exhale. Great job. Breathe in, halfway up. Exhale, fold. We're moving into puppy pose, so we'll come right down to all fours. I love a couple blocks for puppy pose, but you don't have to. Without the blocks, put our hips high. We're reaching our arms long. Chest is opening towards the floor. With the blocks, they just come underneath your elbows. It gives you a little deeper. Great for your posture. Stay in this position. Feels amazing. That's going to come to Pilates this Saturday. I'm going to come too. I'll lift this from the old core. Awesome sauce for that. Puppy pose. We'll be moving into camel. So if you're taking care of your knees, I would recommend rolling up your mat or putting a towel or a pillow or something underneath them. If it doesn't feel good, don't do it. All right, you could go into a bridge pose back on your back instead. So we've got our knees under our hips, our shoulders strong here. I will be putting a block between my ankles just because I don't want to. Sometimes it doesn't feel nice for me to reach back for my heels, so I just reach back for a block. So our right hand will be reaching back. So let's go up first and then back onto either our heel or the block. And the other hand is going to reach up. So we stretch our mid back. Breathe. Still keeping our chest open. Nice and strong through our back, and we'll be switching sides. So if you wanted to put a child's pose in between for your back, you can, or just reach back again. Actually, let's reach up first. Back. And the other arm going straight up. Hips going forward, and we're strong in our inner thighs. Wonderful job. All right, let's bring our hands to our mid back now. Draw our elbows towards each other in the back. And if you want to, you can lean back a little bit. But for today, I'm just going to open up the chest and just notice how we don't want to just crunch our back down. We want to have some length. Be nice to your neck, taking care of that neck. We'll keep our chin in line with our chest instead of looking up. Love it. Straighten it out again. Now we'll bring our hands to the back of our head. Take a little lean back where we can be a little nicer to our necks here. But if something doesn't feel right, reset. So one thing that you could hurt your lower back in this pose is if you're really clenching your cheeks and pushing them forward. So try not to clench too much. Be nice to your back. That belly is still strong, although we're stretching. Now, if anyone wants to do full camel, please, if that's part of your practice, go to it. When you reach back for both of your heels, it could be easier by putting the tops of your toes on the mat and then reaching back. I'm just going to do it just to quickly demonstrate. If you'd like to stay there for a breath or two, you can. Or you can meet me in child's pose before we move up to rabbit. Not up to rabbit, I guess forward to rabbit. So child's pose, take a nice stretch for the low back. Really focus on even breathing into and feeling some expansion across the lower part of your back. And the mid part of your back. Our focus today, this whole week, on the mid back. Try to do this practice a few times this week, either virtually in person or check it out on YouTube. So I'll see your progress at the end of the month. All right, rabbit pose. We hold on to our heels whilst we work towards lifting our hips up, our booty up off our heels. So we feel that stretch in the mid back. Looking back at our kneecaps most likely, or our eyes are closed. So it's a big, beautiful stretch for the back of the body. Breathe and feel, listen to the ribs. Hands will come forward and we make our way to all fours. Good. Let's go through a few cat and cows before we add in a little flow. It's called cat and cow, child's pose flow. Hold our tabletop. Take an inhale into our tabletop. Exhale back to child's pose. Inhale, cat pose. Round out our back as we come back. Exhale, come into tabletop or cow, and then back to tabletop. Let's do it again. Take a breath in, back to child's pose. As we inhale again, we're rounding our back like a cat coming up. Then cow. And then tabletop, draw the belly button towards the spine. Let's do a couple more times. Inhale here, exhale, child's pose. Inhale, cat. Exhale, cow. Inhale, all fours again. Great job. All right, time for our Garland pose with our modifications. So Garland is that wide squat that we've been working on. If you have a pillow nearby, if you're going to try crow, that'll go to the top of your mat, or blocks back behind you or in front of you. Okay, so Garland pose, we've got our feet out wider than our hips, and we're down in our Garland pose where we could put a block underneath your hips to stabilize, or a pillow, or you even sit on a chair. Or another chair modification would be to be holding onto a chair in front of you as you sit back, so you kind of hold a little bit of your weight. So this can be enough. If this does feel nice for you, stay here. A little bit of a flow today. So we're in our Garland, hands come to heart. Take a breath in. And exhale, we'll reach our arms forward. Inhale, come back. Exhale, reach those arms forward. A few more, with or without your block. So good. All right, again, you're never stuck. If you want to take a little break, have a little break. Right hand to the mat, walking away slightly with the knee, the inside of your knee pressing onto the back of your arm, your other arm will go up. See how that feels. And then the other sides, we're walking that left hand a little bit away as we press the inside of our knee onto the back of our arm and sweep our other arm up. I want to create that muscle memory of that squeeze of your legs on the backs of your arms to help you with your crow pose. All right, time for crow, or hang out in your Garland or take a little break wherever you want to be. With or without our block in front of us, and even a block behind us to put your toes on. So if you're brand new, stay where you are, or start with that squeeze of our inner knees on the outside of our thighs, outside of our arms. We shift forward, and we always look forward, squeezing. Now this is where, if you had a block and you're just starting out, you could put some toe taps on the block just to see how that feels. You're always looking forward. If you want to go up into full crow, you can, or you could just tap your forehead forward and back. Whenever you're ready, you can hold whichever part of the pose feels good for you, or move up into our crow. Great job, everybody. All right. Roll it back onto your backside. Shake out those hips a little bit. You may need your block again. We're moving into boat pose with some wrist relief. So right up into our boat, feet up or down. Love it. Okay, here we are. Choose where you want your boat today. If you're working on lifting your feet, you can put a block under your foot. Okay, so let's tuck our thumbs in, give our wrists some love. Your feet can be up or down, whatever works one way than the other. And we'll go up and down, still in our boat pose. Then we'll clasp our hands together, even our forearms, do some wrist rotations going one way and then the other. Still strong in our boat. We'll grab our right hand and make a little, so it's like we're trying to just pull our hand off, but don't. Other side. Beautiful. All right, we'll be flipping it over into plank, full or kneeling. Take your time. So we've got a plank, a side plank coming, and a wild thing, which we'll all have modifications for. Wild thing is also known as flip dog, a little variation. All right, so you can find your plank, full plank, or the kneeling plank, or go down to your forearms if you're taking care of your wrists today. But hopefully that little wrist release helped you before we went into it. All right, you can stay here, go to your knees. We'll be moving into a side plank. So let's lift our right arm up. And we'll put our right foot either in front or we'll stack for our side plank here, or your left knee is down into this position. Okay, so wild thing. You would be in a full plank and that top leg will go back a little bit and we'll reach long. So this is our wild thing pose. Your left arm's probably shaking like mine. Take it back to plank. Before we do the other side, let's take a child's pose and bring our palms facing up. Let's try it on the other side. Shift it forward into a full or your kneeling plank, where we'll hold for 5 to 10 breaths. Or forearms. All right, shifting it into a full side plank, either the left foot in front of the right or stacking. Then we will stack and hold, or one leg goes back. So if your left hand's up, it's your left leg that's going back. Oh, shaky, shaky. Oh, I can't wait to hear about how you guys have made out with that one. Made it back to child's pose just for a breath or two until we make our way back to our bellies to do some more back work. Although it's been a while already. Forward we go, onto our bellies. Wonderful. We'll reach our hands back. And we're moving into some leg kicks in our locust today. Just fluttering our feet. Our thighs are still on the mat. All about length. And we'll reach both arms forward. One arm out to the side. Then both arms back behind us. And then back forward again. So take a little rest. If you've got a block or even just anything close by that you can use to pass between your hands, that's going to help. So we'll have our hands on our blocker of something else that we have there. Love to see what you came up with. Let's reach our feet up if that feels okay or not. Reach the block forward. Now we'll pass the block back behind to our other hand, open up, and then switch it back around to the front. And then go the other way. We go back, push it forward. Oh, take a little break. Rest your forehead down on the mat or on hands. I had a crisscross shoulder stretch today, which can be very different for different body types. One arm's going forward, other arm's going this way, so we're crisscrossing. Just looking in front of that elbow. Feel a nice stretch here. Practice. I think we might have not very much time for Shavasana, but that's okay when there's no one in class if you're all at home. So you can be able to just rest with your own music. We'll get all these poses in. And we'll switch. The other elbow goes in front. Stretch your shoulders. One might feel different. That is normal. I love this pose. Love, love. Bring back the love. All right, hands come under our shoulders. Back to child's pose. Great job. We'll be making our way to a seated position for my absolute all-time favorite mid-back pose. Let's bend our right knee and extend our left leg out. You put a block underneath this knee if you'd like to. So this leg's out as far as we can get it without not feeling good on your hip. All right, so this oblique here, the side of your left side of your body, we don't want it to go forward. We want it to stay open and go towards the thigh as we reach our left hand towards the foot, outside or the inside, and your other arm is coming up. We stay and continue to be open, or we create a circle, our little half C. So where we feel the stretch, a lot of it right here in our mid part of our back and our rib cage. Breathe. Find the length of your spine. Wonderful. Stay here a couple more breaths. Stay nice and long. Let's switch it up. So bend that other knee, other leg goes out. You can put a block underneath or reach long and up. Hold your head, reach for your toes, or put that hand back behind you. Put it right on your mid back if you want to give that part of your body a little bit of attention. Massage. We were talking earlier, Marla and I, about maybe hopefully these restrictions lowering and we can get back to our forehead and our neck massages. Bet you the class will be full in person again. All right, bring it on up, my friends. Bring the knees together. We're rolling right back onto our backs into a bridge. So let's press our feet into the mat. Lift up our back sides and lift up our arms today. So first off, we're starting with the shoulder blades pressing down. There's no weight in our head. Breathe. And then all the way back. That feels okay. But we still want to make sure there's no weight in our head. Good job. If you feel like making this a little more restful, just place a block underneath your lower back. I'll bring it down. If anyone wants to go up into shoulder stand, you'll lift your hips up off of the mat and bring your hands underneath. We end up in shoulder stand. I'm trying to draw our elbows together at the back where you're in your bridge pose still. Stay there a little while. Full modification, which is what I'm going to choose today, legs up a wall for shoulder stand. Still gonna get your feet up above your head. So amazing. Okay. You're almost there. The reverse pigeon pose, a baby pose, and a twist. Alrighty. So now we're all back on our backs, knees at 90 degrees, and we'll cross our left ankle over our right knee to move into a pigeon pose, supine pigeon. So you can stay here or reach for the back of the leg and draw it in with the feet flexed and strong. Stay there, so turn that face. And switching sides for your pigeon. The other knee coming across. You can either do your reach through or no reach through. Just have a nice stretch. You can push a little bit out on this knee only if that foot's flexed and that knee's healthy. Wonderful. Don't let the mind wander just yet. Keep it here, the breath. Remaining present. Closing our eyes if possible. No distractions. Moving into our happy baby pose. So now we bend the knees, find some space between them. The heels will go up towards the side. Hold on to your ankles or the tops of your feet or around the edges. Or you can hold steady. Every day is different. Every time we come into a practice or a pose, it's different. So wonderful. All right, let's add in one twist and then we'll be one more fish pose after that. So right leg extends, left knee comes across. You might want to go the knee onto a block. Make sure one hip facing up, one hip facing down on the earth so that your lower back isn't twisted. And then we can find a twist from above the belly button. So we're up to the mid back is where the twist starts. When you're ready, all the way over to the other side. Take your time. Make yourself comfortable. Nice long spine. Still easy to breathe. All right, let that go. Take a rock, knees side to side. I'm going to set you up in a fish pose with or without blocks. So if you don't have blocks or anything like that, maybe just have a blanket or a towel. It'll go under your shoulder blades. If you do have a block or two blocks, one block goes between your shoulder blades like so, the narrow long end in between the shoulder blades. So take a minute to set up. Maybe. The other block will be in your hand. All right, so you want that in between your shoulder blades a little bit lower. Other block is behind our head in some fashion. However, you can make it work on the walls a little bit too close, but you get what I mean here. We're opening up across the mid back and the upper back. If you just have a towel, it'll go underneath your shoulder blades just so that you can prop up this mid part of your back for fish pose. Get comfortable or you're doing your regular Shavasana. Stay in whichever pose you have chosen today. Do a seated meditation. Hope that you have enjoyed your practice. May the sun bring you new energy by day, and may the moon softly restore you by night. May the rain wash away your worries, and may the breeze blow new energy into your being. May you walk gently throughout the world and know its beauty all the days of your life. Stay in your Shavasana a little longer, please do so. Otherwise, namaste. I'll see you next time in person or online. Have a lovely day, Marla, Stella, Mary, Cherie.